Hello everyone, this is the continuation from my last video. I was supposed to finish that in a same video, but something happened, so I had to cut that out. So this is the second continuation of that. Basically, what I'm trying to say is all the negative things that comes to our mind, that doubts, fear-based thoughts, negative assumptions, negative anything that comes to our head that is completely negative impulses and all sort of things, they are all not from us basically. How we can change that is just having an intention is very important, because even when we are getting into relationship, building a house, or even when you join a job, intentions are very important. You are given a particular job to do, your responsibilities. If you are building a house, intentions, no, you want to build particular this colored house, this way, that way, this material, that material. So intentions are very important in life. So first, having a desire and intention is very important. And second thing is, if you're somebody who's willing to what do you call experiment, people who sometimes, I see this kind of a thing in YouTube. They say, I need a proof kind of a people, you know just fast for a few days with just water, based on your age, your health, your conditions. These things can be very different for each other, but basically, what happens is, when you fast, you let go of all the negative influences of earth. And so, let me explain in a clear way. Our heart is connected to the divine world, our body and our brain is connected to this physical world. What happens is, everything that we consume, whether it's mainly food, thoughts, words, the conversation that we have, self talk, the conversation that we have with our own self, and media, the things that we read, things that we remember, that thing that we reminisce, the feel of that nostalgia, and lot of things that we absorb by watching others, listening to others, having conversation with others, being in a place where two people are talking and we are just agreeing, that energetically that is also connecting. All of those things that we consume become a part of our life energetically. So it's very essential that we release. If somebody is really wanting to do to see the truth, they can just release all of those things as much as they can and eat very healthy food, home cooked food, raw food, something that's away from chemicals, that does not have any chemicals. Processed food is out, sugar, salty food, too much spiced food. If you keep all of this away, our body is like a machine, even it needs a rest once in a while. So fasting once a week, or some people do fast for extended period of time, 1 meal a day, 2 meal a day, intermittent fasting. And some people do uh, 10 days of fasting, lot of things. And then they just realize how body feels so light, and the feeling of delightness comes within, and all those distractions of the mind disappears. All the sudden thought of doing this, doing that disappears. The calmness, the peace, the stability prevails. So when we do that, our brain starts to take up the cues, because of our hormonal changes, because of our emotional changes, because of our that energetic change that happen within ourselves, because of all of those things, along with some exercises to the body. Movement of the body is also important. Taking in the sunlight, moving the body, whether it's exercises, yoga, or stretch, whatever it is, and meditating. Prayer is something that we ask something with the divine, and meditation is something that we receive the guidance from the divine. When we do that, having a conversation with the divine, and we pause and respond, it becomes easier for us to receive the message from the divine easily. In order to do that, letting go of the earth's influence is very essential. So doing all sort of things helps us relieve that, with not just physical burdens, weightage, but also energetic burden. and weightage from our life. When we unburden ourselves, what happens is our brain starts to feel very calm, very pause, very safe, very pleasant, and it is not in an alert mode anymore. So, when a body feels that positive energy, our brain also starts to pick up that, and it's not in an anxious alert mode anymore. When that happens, it becomes easier for us to connect our heart to the divine world and receive message very clear from the divine world. People who already know, there are a lot of people who eat one meal a day for years and they are healthy. No, their cognitive abilities are very still sharp. The feeling of fear, the feeling of burden doesn't comes to them. Many of them, it's a personal experience that we have to experience. It is like it's not even a sacrifice. It is just like we are letting go of something that's not good for us in exchange for something that is actually good and beneficial for us. For example, if you are somebody, no matter what kind of age you are or whatever belief system you have, everybody loves superhero movies, isn't it? What if we have this power? What if we have that power in our soul? In the spiritual realm, we do have that ability. We can move, we can fly, we can do a lot of things. Even people uh, who has a lot of high vibrational abilities, there are psychic people, people who are clairvoyant, those kind of things. They do. There are a lot of people who can astral travel, lucid dream, and they experienced a lot of things. When we are traveling in an astral realm, it literally feels like, you know, that this physical body just forgets. We can only feel our astral body, that light body that we have. And it feels so light, like we literally fly through every single thing. I myself have experienced that. It feels like flying through, you know everything. Wherever we travel, it feels like, how Superman flies. It's exactly something similar. We float. We don't have that, when we are in a human body, that is different. When we are in an astral realm, when we are projecting ourselves through all of those things, it feels so light. Basically, that is our capacity. When in a human body, we can still apply those kind of things and bring a lot of things. What I'm trying to say is, when we are thinking about like superheroes and think that they have this power, that power, we do have the same power within our own self. We do have a lot of power within ourselves. We just have to absorb it and understand it, because earth has free will. When we feel, when we actually embrace, embody the feeling of that, yes, I am this, and we become that. That is the point of having a free will on earth. you know Everybody's ability is different, but everybody has the ability to connect themselves to the divine world. We are by birth divine. So when doing that, it is like letting go of negative things to receive positive things, those kind of things. So how we can actually practically achieve it is doing certain things that I already explained. First thing is, we have to intend and desire, and it's not related to any religion. It is simply spiritual, because it's just that we are remembering our actual capacity, we are remembering who we are, our actual identity. Then we can take our power back. We are the divine feminines and divine masculines. uh, you know Even within a gender, a man can be a divine feminine as well. So if you're a twin flame, you would know that. Thankfully, this concept is very less and people might not realize that much. But we are all divine by birth. In order to take our power back, we have to grow into a person of desiring it. In order to do that, we need to be the seeker. Instead of listening to this and that, we need to be the seeker of life and light and love. We have to choose that. By consciously we have to do that. And by letting go of all the things that's holding us back, and we can actually achieve whatever we want to achieve. This is exactly, for example, a simple example I'll give. If you are a student If you're having examination, even if you want to check that, new music that got released, or some anime or some movie, YouTube, online, whatever, you have to focus on your studies if you really want a good marks, isn't it? Unless you are some kind of a genius who just need to go through once and it's done and stuff, isn't it? Why? Because you're sacrificing something that is not beneficial and focusing on something that is actually beneficial. This is exactly how it is. We are letting go of something, this eating, this food, anything that's earthbound. It has a ability to do both good or negative based on how we actually manage that in our life. Everything is done in a limited way is good. There is a saying, even if you consume too much elixir, it can become a poison, something like that. There is a adage that says something like that. Basically, when we are doing something, for example, there are people who experienced heartbreak. They can they have a different way to handle it. Some people may turn negative, because of the heartache, and become self-destructive. Some people may actually turn that into, let's go to the gym, let's work it out, and let's just break through all of those things, because they chose something positive, because their inclination towards positivity was more, because there is only good thing that comes to us if we start thinking positive. So that choice is ours. So it's always better to choose what is light and love is, what is good for us, what is benevolent and brings peace and stability, not because what makes us happy. There are things that can make us happy, but it might not bring us good things. No, so it's always important that something that we choose for our highest good. This is exactly my point is, when we decide that we want to do something better within our own self, it is better that we connect out to our higher self and connect ourselves to the divine world very easily by, what do you call that, experimenting. If you are a seeker, you can do the lot of experiment, first changing the subconscious. There is a lot of videos are there online, changing our subconscious, healing the trauma, letting go of all the things that need to be let go, whether it's a people, person, a relationship, a habit, an addiction, a thought, a perception, whatever it is, and doing the fasting, changing the lifestyle, and becoming a healthier person physically, mentally, psychologically, energetically, in every other way. And when we take that power back to ourselves, we can do a lot of things. So fasting is a way to help all of those things, this letting go of this negativity, to see actually how superhuman we actually can be. This is the point. This is what I really wanted to say in my last video, but that got cut off. So this is the continuation of that. I hope you understand that. Thank you.